Greetings, dear ones. Haven't seen you all for a while, at least live videos. Those of you who receive the newsletter, I usually have been writing at least on Fridays and sending those out. But welcome to all those who are here in the moment and those that will be listening and benefiting and participating at a later point. Today's Tuesday, the 12th of December, moving towards the end of the year and more importantly towards solstice. Just at the top of the hour, I want to let you know that I do have a holiday gift basket that I'm raffling off. Total value is $275. That's for a 90-minute session, plus for oils and thieves hand cleaner and a beautiful diffusing ornament and all kinds of things. All proceeds are going to 4 different charities that you can choose from. Two are people oriented and two are critter oriented. And they're listed on my Facebook page. So please go there and take advantage. One ticket is $15, 3 tickets for 40. You are donating and benefiting beautiful organizations and as well having the opportunity to win a session that you can use or gift in however way you want, and for really timely seasonal oils, essential oils from Young Living. And I also will be doing a gathering on the solstice in the daytime. So it's nice and warm because the potential for the labyrinth. And if not, then we will be completely inside. But it will be a short time to just celebrate the newness of light and many other things, working with the duality and the polarity of our world and how that's very much shifting and changing. So, and that's one of the energetics that are here today is the new mathematics that have been coming in. Some very strong mathematics that underlie the entire universe, and in particular, the process of the creation of matter in the universe, and how that is going to be able to allow for even more rapid creation of what we want and how we want to be, how we want to live, how we want to bring through our soul's purposes, and what we want this new earth to be, what we want this new world to feel like, look like, create, cooperate with, collaborate with. There's so much, and each one of us came with a very specific and unique way of adding to and contributing and benefiting that process as a side effect. Not that that is a mission that we came for, or you must do, or there's an obligation. None. This is a free will universe. You can do nothing. You can do as much or as little as you want in this life, as long as you are in the process of exploring and discovering more of who you are. That's what you came for. That's the name of the game. So, in that, we, as in that process of exploring our own soul's curiosity, our own soul's project, it dovetails, once transmuted and transfigured, it dovetails beautifully with the creation of a new earth. So, one of the things that has been standing out very much with clients and colleagues, etc., this week is an original. I hesitate to use the word blueprint because that implies that there is something set or fixed in a design, the design of you and your life. You did have an outline. You did have certain points and reference points and parameters that you set up. But outside of that, every single moment is a free will choice. But when we come in as children, that beautiful essence and our the aspects of our soul that we want to explore and expand or upon is present in that teeny tiny human little being. And whether drastically so or even in a more subtle way, that natural exuberance and essence and brightness and shining radiance is shut down, turned down, cut off, pushed back, rejected, denied, molded, taken and molded and made into what someone else or society feels it should be. And so today we're going to be delving into those extremely tender, precious, beautiful, delicate, fragile, unfiltered, open places that are our origin points or come from our soul origin points, and that have not been allowed to, for our own purposes, have not been allowed to be fully expressed out there loud and proud. That is the current level of the game right now, is to transmute and transfigure what were woundings specifically designed to be able to have the energy that they hold, the packed, intense energy that they hold for the transmutation and transfiguration process, and even metamorphosis process when you go deeper and deeper and deeper to those roots. And as a result, that that precious, that's why the image that I used for this gathering today was a very, very delicate Christmas ornament, because how one handles that, how one appreciates that, how one takes care of, how one cushions, how one delights in, how one celebrates the beauty and artistry and whatever is within that particular ornament, is the ideal of how a very young child and all of who they are and all of what they do and all of what they, in their process of exploration and discovery, ideally would be treated and held in that same way. As I was preparing for today, I haven't pulled out my Christmas ornaments as yet, but some of them are older than I. They were with my mother before I was born. And others that we gathered, every single one is different on the tree. And some of them came from this absolutely magnificent florist and very, very famous. They had all kinds of precious things besides being a florist in San Francisco, where I grew up, and it was called Podesta Baldocci's. And the glass ornaments, they are so delicate and so thin and so magnificent in their detail and in their representation. And they have to be handled extremely carefully. They have to be placed on the tree very carefully. And, so often parents unwittingly or even deliberately say things and do things that hit those tender, very delicate spots of a child's psyche, of a child's energy field, of a child's emotional and spiritual bodies. So that is an energetic of, the way children ideally would be addressed, looked out for, cared for, held, encouraged, lifted up, um, just with that same level of respect and reverence and awe, um, that I find when I open up those ornaments each year. And we also have the energetic of the animal master bat. And there's two aspects that bat has been bringing forth this past week or so. One of them is the idea of bats hang upside down. So in many indigenous tribes, they represent birth, as in a child coming through the birth canal. And another very strong aspect is that of their sonar and being able to, well, two things. Some of the couple of my clients this week in the deep work that they were doing were working with ways in which from a very young age they sent out, so to speak, feelers or visual uh, exploration or energetic or sensating. What is it that the other person is giving off, or how do they see me, or what do I need to do or not do, be or not be, in order to be okay with and in their presence, right down to very survival. So it's that sonar going out. We constantly have that, and more people than not literally are walking around like satellite dishes, constantly checking, whether it's trends, whether it's, am I meeting a certain standard? How do my friends and family see me? How am I being, how do I need to be in any given situation, be it a work situation, family situation, what have you. And the level of the game that we are at this point is about finding exactly who you are, holding that with the same reverence and respect and valuing and preciousness, and allowing that to come forth no matter what. A bat will send out the sonar and adjust accordingly. And, for us, this process of being who we are, no matter what is coming back, no matter what society says, no matter what my family group feels or thinks about me, what I should do, what I shouldn't do, etc. That this is really about an inner sonar, that the only determinant is what is inside of you. The only voice that should be followed in any way, shape, or form is that innate voice, that direct line of communication to your soul. That is the you, that wider you that includes so many other existences, so much knowledge, so much wisdom, so much experience in countless ways, depending on your level of exploration of this universe. And that is you. That is the divine droplet of you from the unified one. And so it is never going to steer you wrong. It is always going to guide you, assist you, bring you, give you opportunities that are ideal for you. When we're young, because that voice is so true and natural and wants and gives and leads us to what is ideal and best for us, it more often than not, well, no, I'm going to go farther than that and say always clashes with what we are experiencing in our home, in that childhood world. Therefore, it must be silenced. We must disconnect from it because we cannot constantly hear. It's as if you're, which many of us are in situations such as this is not good, this is not right, this is not helpful for me, this is not healthy for me, I must remove myself from this situation, or I must cease doing this to myself, which is what's underlying that. I must not allow this to happen. I must not allow this to harm me. And if we're constantly hearing that internally, and yet we are not, nothing around us is changing, then that clash is excruciating. That, what is right and good and true for you with in what you're living in, which is the exact opposite, it literally causes such conflict, such friction, that I'm seeing so many clients, so many colleagues, so many friends that have not yet been able to make that level of transmutation and transfiguration, and it's showing up bodily. And that's very concerning to me, because, we only have one of these, and it is very resilient, and it is very, when given the chance, very recuperative. But when that clash within us continues and continues and continues, it does, depending on what the corresponding psycho-emotional piece is, to which chakra, it will affect a body system to the extent that it can create disease, it can create severe mechanical dysfunction, and that is always something that I hold so close to my heart when I see that happening with people around me, because that's kind of the last signal, the last siren, the last attempt your soul is utilizing to get you to make that change, to get you to look deeper, to get you to transmute and transfigure something to the extent where you are only referenced from what is internally true for you. So, and if it's not, and when I say physical, yes, ultimately it can present in the physical body, but also in our physical circumstances. Whether, I have a client who is just seemingly being attacked through legal means, through clients, etc. She's an attorney. And then, another client is seeing this in her physical body by kidney issues and other things. It just, and others in their physical environment. Someone I know had a huge fire. Luckily, they are safe, but it was very traumatic and caused a great deal of damage. So, in your physical world, your soul will do whatever it takes to compel you, to catalyze you to do this internal exploration, discovery, transmutation, transfiguration, and even metamorphosis. Because that's what you're here for. That's what we're all here for. And in that process, as I said, it dovetails, or the side effects of that are that you are now presencing and bringing all of that pure, beautiful, precious, radiant self to the world, and doing or expressing that through your work, through your hobbies, through your connections, through something that you are creating. And that is what is birthing, if you will, our new earth. So, and we have so much assistance. In about a couple minutes, we're going to drop in And I'm calling in not only the energetics that I've mentioned, these new, absolutely brand new mathematics underlying the universe. We have an origin, a new origin point of the universe. We have Bat with us this week. We also have the energetics from the Tibetan lineage of Buddhism, with His Holiness the Dalai Lama as the current leader of that. And that tradition, those beings, have a very specific role in holding levels of spiritual, human spiritual life, if you will. Many of you may have seen Doctor Strange, and in that first movie, what the sanctums, the different points around the planet, and what that order of sorcerers do to protect this planet from darkness in many different forms and from many different sources in this universe and beyond. And that's real. It's very real. There are a lot of different factors that go into this Earth project, and a lot of different beings, existences, universes would very much like to utilize all of the resources we have here. And I'm not referring to natural resources as much as we as the resources. We have access within us to many different existences, lives, if you will, but I refer to them as existences because lives implies humanoid form. And when I'm referring to existences, you may have had an existence as a gaseous state, as a nebula, as a star, as countless things. So that's why I prefer the term existences. And you hold all of those within you. And that is a great resource. So you are that important. You are that significant. You are that great. And you are that wide. That you hold all of this. And you are here for a purpose, for your own soul's purpose. And when you do this level of transmutation and transfiguration that I'm referring to, that I do one-on-one with clients, you then are able to channel through into your daily life, not in those certain moments when you're in a particular meditation and you channel through energies, which you very well can and may and do. But this is very specific. This is about embodying, physicalizing, incorporating different aspects of these other existence that correspond directly to your particular wounding as a child and the underlying issues within that. So the exploration of the human allows you to then be more divine, to channel through and embody and physicalize and incorporate into you and this earth project that knowledge, that wisdom, those gifts, those abilities, those particular energetics. Because it takes that wide variety from billions of us to make and create that alchemical mixture that is going to allow for an incredibly accelerated build of the new earth. Because we're watching the old be brought absolutely to ground level, ground zero. It's being destroyed daily. Many different aspects, not just of our government, our world here in the United States, but our world. It's coming to a head, in case you hadn't noticed. And if you maybe did not frame it in that way, your body, your energy field, your emotional body, and your mental body have been experiencing it as such. And again, that is the larger scale of what I just described happens to a child on an individual basis. That, to whatever extent, some more so and some less, depending on the situation, depending on your chosen soul project's choice. But every single child is affected. Every single child is wounded, because that is part of the process. It is part of the game. It is what is necessary to bring us from the most devastating, the most painful, the most severe experiences to, when transmuted, transfigured, and or metamorphosized, to the opposite end of the spectrum, to its highest, purest, most powerful, most fully expressed aspect of us. So the energetics of this reverence and precious holding and awe of you is very much here. It's been here all week. By actually a one we're in the season of the holiday season, and choirs of angels, if you want to think of it that way. There are choirs of angels, if you will, and I use the term just to reference the holiday season and to give you a little bit of an energetic. But they are not necessarily angels. Angels are a very specific set of beings that have charge over and handle very specific aspects of the human experience. They are found within a very particular bandwidth of energies, in particular the electromagnetic, but we are many things, and there are innumerable different energetics in the universe. So when I'm just using that as a reference, but there is a choir of beings, if you will, around you. And the fact that you are still here alive doing this thing within what is going on in our world, and the assault, if you will, to the very deepest levels of our being, physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, and energetically, you are being bowed to all day, every day. And it's more prominent right now. You can certainly image that in many different pictures and movies. I happen to catch, which I wouldn't normally watch regular TV, but I did watch Kevin Costner's, I think it was called The First Christmas. And it was very, very well done. More of a documentary than a movie or show. Beautifully, researched, and very much able to bring forward the feel of that time, the feel of all of the players involved. So if they play it again, or it's on streaming and you have access to it, I do recommend it. Having, like, kind of nothing to do with it being strictly a Christian based. It's just a beautiful story of that point in history, and an incredible example to us of what we can be insofar as this amazing man, divine being, Jesus. And the reason why I bring it forward is at one point they convey the experience of the shepherds in the hills and this choir of angels. And when and as you watch that, if you can really allow your sensing ability to open up your field and feel what is conveyed through the graphic arts, through the visuals, without concentrating on the visuals, really allow yourself to feel that honoring and reverence and magnificence and respect and gift that is being offered. In that case, to the shepherds, but they being symbolic of us, the common man. And you will be receiving that today because that is part of the mix. That awe and honoring. Another great example through a movie would be The Abyss. At one point, I'm trying to do this without spoiling because I'm a big movie person and I don't want to give spoilers, but towards the end of the movie, the main character who has to achieve an incredible feat to be able to save not only his companions but much more than that, and his choice to do so and his sacrifice is responded to. Again, I'm trying to do this without spoiling. Responded to, and if you watch the full movie, please watch the full movie, because oftentimes when they put it on network television, they chop it up and shorten it. But watch the whole thing. There are some beautiful energetics that come through, but in this particular scene that I'm referencing, there is an honoring and an awe and a reverence that is palpable, that you can feel. So those are two quick ways to regenerate that or to feel it being transmitted, aside from where we're going right now. So let me see if there's anybody else that came in this morning. I'm sorry, not this morning, but throughout the week and this morning. Yes, so the mathematics that I was referring to can also be seen as a new physics of the soul. And this process of forgetting who we are to come in and explore and discover and reclaim and embody and physicalize more of us is an amazing thing occurring in the universe right now. And you know how much I have reverence and awe and respect for all of those who work with me or connect with this work, and know that you are being invited into and constantly have available the Healer's Universe web. It's a net, it's a beautiful, constantly adjusting lattice work web net in such a way that when you rest in it, when you allow yourself to lean back in and fall into it, you will experience yourself being held, being touched, if you will, being, healed in some ways. And you can access that through any of the more than 200 videos on my YouTube channel, A Healer's Universe. And choose the video that jumps out at you, either with the attached image or the title, and that will be the exact right set of energetics for you. But the Healer's Universe web is constantly modifying, constantly including, constantly being rewoven by everyone that accesses it, my clients, my colleagues, etc., and you and what you're here for. So it is a moment to moment, moment to moment modifications for all that is going on, all that the human experience is going through, and very specifically what you may be facing in any given moment. Um, and that is vital to have that, because the percentage of children that do not have it is extremely high. That security, that ability to not think about anything, not worry about anything, not adjust or stop oneself from being and doing and following what feels good inside. So you have that to lean into, rely on, count on, be encircled by at any given moment of the day or night. And it does not pull on anyone else that is in that net, and certainly not me. So please do not worry. It's 3 o'clock in the morning and you need, just call in the ancients that guide and direct the way in which this net is being rewoven, designed in any given moment. So, without further ado, I'm going to invite you to just find your seat, and that means actually finding, if you can, your sits bones, and sitting with your feet on the floor. If that feels comfortable to you, you're welcome to lay down, particularly for this healing. And I just invite you to feel your breath moving in and out of your body, however it is doing so. No particular way, no particular efforting on your part, just feeling the air moving in and out of your body, through your lungs, your nose, your throat, mouth, if you are breathing through your mouth right now. And if you feel to, I would invite you to breathe through your mouth, and perhaps just let those breaths be a bit deeper, a bit more full, if you will. And if you feel so inclined, I would also invite you to extend the out breath. Breathing in deeply through your nose, allowing your ribs and your skin to widen as you deepen. And that's very interesting, as well as we're talking about little children, babies and young children belly breathe until these restrictions to who they are and their essence and their preciousness and tenderness come, in which case the breath starts moving up. We constrict it, we slow it down, we narrow it, until more often than not, on a regular basis, we're breathing from here up, maybe here, which is, like high chest, but have to focus and concentrate to belly breathe. For we only do that type of breath when we are feeling secure and safe and well. And clients find that as they have more of themselves, as they are feeling more expressed in who they are from their very essence, another thing that happens, another benefit, is that their breathing changes. They're able to be more deeply in themselves physically, bringing that life force in through more of their lungs, not in a concentrated or focused way, but on a regular basis. Because they come to have that level of security and sense of safety within who they are, no matter what's going on outside. And I hope you just continue to do that deep, longer exhalation than inhalation. You can think of it as 1 part inhalation, 2 parts exhalation, if that helps. If that's too brainy, just extend that exhalation. And feel the air, feel your body. For as you're doing that, which is called vagal breathing, your autonomic nervous system is allowed to do what it's designed to do. For the sympathetic and parasympathetic systems, bringing more ease and serenity, and the ability to be within you now, without having to think it, without having to force it. For when allowed, your body, your energy field know exactly what to do. Exactly how to bring you into the deeper levels of you, so that you may then lean into rest into, let go into this beautiful net of energetics, very specific sacred geometrics that have been created long before this video started, but certainly being woven, brought together, laid out as I've been calling in each energetic, each challenge, each aspect of humanity, the world, this game. Now some very playful, magical beings have joined us. Rather elf-like, brownie-like. Playful, joyful, delighting in what they are seeing, feeling, discovering in the play between and among them. Energy very much a part of a child's experience. Before they learn to put that away, tone it down, or what have you. Also very aware of the security that the Tibetan tradition is bringing forward, who, much like as I mentioned in the movie, Dr. Strange, they protect the doorways. They're very present for us here now. Deepening this sacred geometric configuration. To allow you to disconnect from the cares of the day, the worries, the lists, the activity, and simply rest in. Lean back into give into the holding, the precious cherishment of who you are, of all that you are. There's nothing you need do, nothing you need focus on, nothing to reach for, push for. Right here and right now, simply allow for you to be held and cherished and honored and respected and seen and heard and felt. The incalculable value of you as an individuated aspect of the One. Holding you in reverence for your choice and decision to explore this Earth project at this most unique, unlike any other project in the universe. Insofar as it's accelerated evolution. And you most special, most precious being, chose to be here and participate. Allow yourself to sensate through your body, senses, not with any goal, but simply whatever sensations, whatever feelings, physical, emotional, energetic, spiritual, simply allow. No tracking. You need not even follow the words that I'm saying. I'm simply allowing the sound of my voice to transmit and convey the depth and breadth of reverence and awe for you, for your presence, for your soul, for your courage, for your determination, for your commitment, by physicalizing as a human. I'm going to drop another level deeper. Nothing you need do, nothing you can do, except allowing your energy field, your wider self, the complex and sophisticated energetics woven and interwoven here, enabling you to sink down and in even more so. For this web, this net is holding you, caressing you, adjusting to the exact right threads for you. At this point in time, at any time, you may tune in and allow yourself to fall in to this loving, grace-filled cradle. You may be experiencing some warmth and the radiance of your own being. As the choir of beings surrounds you, lifts you, infills you, blesses you, thanking you, bowing to you for your choice. To physicalize and anchor your very presence in and through this planet and the Earth project itself. And the Earth herself is rising up to meet you. Imbuing you with the security and depth beneath you. For you are bridging heaven, so to speak, and earth. And for that, countless beings are transmitting thank you, thank you, thank you for being. And as always, you are welcome to stay in this energetic should you have the time to do so. And if you feel called, please allow your system to bring you from this less physical back to a more physical experience in your own timing, in your own pace. Sometimes that may feel like waves going out or back into the non-physical, back into the physical. For some, it feels like a spiraling. For others, allowing to feel that in-between space where you are both human and divine, physical and non-physical. Oftentimes, many receive images or symbols or some clue or gift in that space. Sometimes it just feels like that gently waking up on a morning where you don't have to be anywhere and do anything. But please allow and honor and respect your particular way. And when and as you feel to, move in whatever way feels good to you. Maybe it's just a little bit of head movement. Maybe it is a huge stretch. Maybe it's rubbing your feet on the floor or feeling your shoes. Maybe it's just holding your face. Whatever is right for you is how it is to be done. Not dictating, not deciding the when, the how, but allowing. And if you are deciding to stay in this energetic, which you are welcome to do so for however long you can and desire, you will be fully integrated and embodied once you do decide to come back, if you will. And please, this will be on YouTube. Go to, I'll indicate there when the actual energetic practice starts so that you can just hop in and listen to that, drop in, feel, receive, experience this magnificent, what did they call it, cradle of energetics, whenever and however frequently. As you're going to sleep, as you're waking up, as a little respite within a hectic day. And again, a reminder that the gift raffle basket is available on Facebook, etc. And there's directions as to how to send the funds and how to indicate to me which charity, which organization you want it directed to. And hopefully you win the basket and we get to meet either in person or virtually. I will send it if you are a long distance. Be well and know that as always it is with the deepest of honor, gratitude, and love for your presence here on this planet. Until next time.